He came down. He came down. The light of heaven, wrapped in swaddling clothes. He came down. He came down. For God so loved the world that He wanted us to know. So He came down. He could have come in robes of splendor instead of swaddling clothes. He could have said how much He loved us with just words. He could have offered up a sacrifice that's less than what He chose, and gave us only what our sin deserves. But that's not the God He is, and that's not the God He was. To love us from a distance just wasn't good enough. He came down. He came down. The holy light of heaven, wrapped in swaddling clothes. He came down. He came down. For God so loved the world that He wanted us to know. He knew He'd have to make a way, a price that only He could pay, so that we could have eternal life. One day He came down. He came down. The holy light of heaven, wrapped in swaddling clothes. He came down. He came down. For God so loved the world that He wanted us to know. He came down. He came down. For God so loved the world that He wanted us to know. So He came down.